So GT Omega have just released their hybrid cockpit. It's got a lot of interest, but I've actually been using a key part of that cockpit for a while now. This is the GT Omega Prime adjustment pedal plate, and to be honest, I don't think I can go back to the old GT Omega pedal plates or potentially any other pedal plate. Now, this is a sponsored video for GT Omega, but there is one feature of this that I think is quite difficult to put together. Like always, I'm going to be completely honest, let you know what I like about it, what can be improved, but like I said, I don't think I can go back. So here's 5 reasons why this for me is a better pedal plate than the previous pedal plate. So the first feature is the adjustability is complete full adjustability. I've never seen a pedal plate like this, and we're going to get onto stability after. But when it comes to adjustability, you can adjust this pedal plate to obviously angle it like I've done there, which is great because I'm using the new Moser CRP2 pedals and I've hit the limit of the angle on the CRP2 faceplates. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually using the pedal plate to angle it as I want it. It's also got full forwards and back adjustability. There we go. Normally you're sitting there and doing it with your feet and lifting it up. So it's got full forwards and back, and it also goes down and up here. When I was putting this together, it was quite difficult to really understand how it was going to work, but you can see that it's got this adjustability through these little slats here. So yeah, when you've got this kind of adjustability, it's very hard to go back to a flat pedal plate or one that only gives you the angle, and to move it back and forward is really painful and it doesn't go up or down. So the next feature is stability, and maybe you're thinking, and I was certainly thinking, a big compromise of going to all this adjustability is going to be stability. But honestly, I found that not to be the case. You'll see some footage now of me absolutely smashing these pedals on this rig. And not only does it stay very stable going forwards, I was sort of worried that it would kind of inch forwards, but it's also just completely steady when it comes to the pedal plate itself. And it's a slightly different pedal plate construction. It's not the sort of 80-20 aluminium that I had on the previous Prime pedal plate, and it does allow you to screw in. But yeah, I mean, this is just rock solid, and you have the adjustability. So the next feature is compatibility. Now again, I was worried going from 80-20 aluminium. You can see here, that's the remains of my old GT Mega Prime pedal plate, going to a specialist pedal plate like this that has sort of pre-made slots in it. But because this is such a modern pedal plate, the GT Mega Prime adjustment pedal plate, I think it has the holes already there for most pedals, including the brand new Moser CRP2 pedals. I have the Moser CRP2 pedals bolted rock solid onto the GT Mega Prime adjustment pedal plate. So if you're going to run new pedals like this, I would obviously double check it and just email GT Mega if you're not sure, but I have not had to drill any holes for this. I think it's the same with my V3s. I think it's the same with my Thrustmaster TLCMs as well. So it's not an 80-20 using T slots that I've had before. I've had these CRP2s, by the way, on T slots in 80-20, but also bolting here is absolutely solid. It's actually a relatively chunky pedal plate in places, and you can see why they needed to do that, because it's got this adjustability, but it's not going anywhere. Now, by the way, you do get 5% off everything at GT Mega if you use my discount code Kireth5. I know a lot of people are buying GT Mega equipment using that discount code. I see it. So please let me know in the comments what you brought, what do you like, what you don't like. GT Mega always want to know feedback, and it's because of that feedback. For example, I've given feedback about it would be great to have more adjustability in the pedal plates, and I think that just contributes to them coming up with solutions like this. And it's so competitive now in sim racing, so many hardware manufacturers. But let's get on to the next feature. Okay, the next feature is tool-free adjustment, and I really mean tool-free. You can see here, there's a lever here, and there's these sort of whatever you call them here on the side. Obviously, going backwards and forwards is tool-free. Now, if I wanted to move a normal pedal plate forwards and back, I need to get my Allen key out, and I need to do that thing where you have to loosen into the T-nuts, not so it comes out, but enough for you to slide in the slots. These are the T-nuts here, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But on this one, once you bolt it into the rig, and this is where I have some critical feedback of how it comes together actually, but once you bolt it to the rig, absolutely solidly into the T-nuts, and they give you some special like heavy duty T-nuts. All of this is tool free, so you just have to move this locking thing here and unscrew on either side, and you can move this up and down. You can tilt it down, you're going kind of down this way, you can tilt it going up that way. I think you can lower it all and down as well. I've got it just, you can almost see here exactly my throttle pedal. It's exactly how I want it with that little bit of angle as well. Just means that I'm not having to push my ankle back too far and I'm not having to stretch too far. I've got it in that nice sweet spot. So this is what it allows you to do. And that's all completely tool free, which is great. Okay, we were just rudely interrupted by a spider who's come this way, trying to obviously adjust the rig. He wasn't happy with the adjustment there. He wanted to do it a little bit up for him. He's got 8 legs, not 2. You let me know if you can see that, whether that's a big spider or not where you live. But yeah, a little bit of a shock for me. Obviously, my sim racing room is got a spider infestation, which is great. But let's move on to the next feature. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, next feature, I think this is the 5th and final feature before we get onto the con, is the ultimate comfort, basically, of this setup. Because it's so adjustable, not only can you just get your pedals on them and get them in the position where you can use them, but you can really fine-tune it for the ultimate comfort. And this is why I don't think I can go back, because I've got my pedals into such a comfortable position for me. It's so easy now to go sim racing. I'm not having to stretch my ankles or anything. And I know that if I go back to a previous pedal plate, I might not be able to get that comfort. And whenever I change my pedals, I'm going to be able to adjust this all tool-free and get that comfort again. So that's a massive deal. Also, if you've got friends coming around, they can move it backwards, they can move forwards, they can adjust here. I can remember the position that I like, and within a few turns, I've got it back in my perfectly comfortable position. So that's really important. But let's go on to the negative. You have to navigate the spider here. But there's one thing I didn't understand when making this prime adjustment pedal plate, and I'd love GT Mega to let me know if I'm just being stupid here. But you see, you bolt basically the sliders. If you've done a chair on a rig, you'll get it. You bolt the bottom of the sliders into the rig here, which is no problem. That's completely easy to do. Just go straight in. But then in order to bolt this onto the sliders, you need to put a nut in here. You need to put a bolt in here and a nut on it. And it's my fingers aren't quite thin enough to pinch a bolt and get it here. So I needed to use some pliers and do it. So that might be me being a little bit silly. I don't understand why you can't try and hold the nut there with some pliers and bolt down. But just bear in mind, this whole thing was relatively simple to put together, but this bit actually took quite a long time because you have to do it 4 times. You have to do it on each corner of the rig. And again, I might be silly there, but I know that some of you, maybe you're going to buy this pedal plate. This is actually the pedal plate that I would recommend getting. It's about £100 in the UK. Then you add 5% off using my code. And I think you're going to be very, very, very happy with it. So I can say that honestly. But I just want you to be wary that if you do buy it, this bit, you might think you're almost done. But just bear in mind, you might need some pliers or something to get that nut and bolt in. So there we go. This is the GT Mega Prime Adjustment pedal plate. I don't think I'm going to go back to any other pedal plate. It gives me all the adjustability I need and it's rock solid. It makes it super comfortable. So let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to use my discount code if you are checking out stuff from GT Mega, and I'll see you next time.